I was getting this set up before the stream, and I was like, whoa, I scrolled down too far, and there is a GIF that plays. I don't know if a GIF would be enough to get a copyright strike on something that's been a video taken down, but I really don't want to risk it. So I will link this in the chat right now for people that want to see what the GIF is. But basically, the situation here, and this comes from Tom Warren on The Verge, Sony is experimenting with AI-powered PlayStation characters. Sony's advanced technology group has created an AI-powered version of Aloy from PlayStation's Horizon games. So if you're not familiar with this technology of what they're implementing, it's basically using AI as like a chatbot to speak to the player. And if they use this, it would eliminate the need for paying voice actors or for paying for the voices to be used or to get them set up and all the mouth movements and everything. It would just be automated and automatic. So Sony is working on a prototype AI-powered version of at least one of its PlayStation game characters. I wonder if this is going to be pushed against. I wonder if, you know how there's like a big anti-AI art movement where artists really don't like AI art because they say it puts them out of a job basically, and it's not artistic, it's not this, it's not that. Where I always take the perspective of, hey, like if it exists and people want to use it, who are you to tell people what they're allowed to use and what they're not? And if you want to create your art, create your art. And if you can't compete with AI, maybe you're not a good enough artist or you're not thinking outside the box. That's my approach to it. And I know that's a controversial stance with AI stuff, but I'm like, no, AI. I had a conversation with an indie developer a couple days ago, and I might be following up with them and even potentially having them on stream at some point. But they were saying some really interesting things to fight back against the people that are very anti-AI in gaming. Because as an indie developer, and you need to think about it like this, because for AAA and these mega corporations with billions and billions of dollars and shareholders making money hand over fist, like, yes, I understand that the pushback on that because they can afford to do it. But when you look at the indie developers, they can't. And if they can use AI to assist them and create a product to save time, cut corners, but also at the end of the day, have the same exact product that they would have put together if they just typed all the code themselves, but the AI wrote part of it for them and they instructed it to do that portion of it, but they still create the story, they create all the interweaving of it, but they're at least allowed to use some of the AI to save their time and their sanity, and most importantly, their money while creating a game, not having to pay a voice actor. I mean, think of all the indie games out there that don't have voice acting because they're indie. They can't afford the voice acting. They don't want to pay. They can't pay. They can't create the motion sensors for all of it. Imagine if there was just an AI program where it's like, okay, I can just input the text and it will do that for me. Why would I not? Why would I not? So I get it from an indie developer's perspective. But anyways, an anonymous tipster has shared an internal video. So the video, FYI, has already been taken down. So I can't even show the video and get strike from that, even if I wanted to, which, trust me, I don't. But they shared an internal video from Sony PlayStation's group with The Verge that demonstrates an AI-powered version of Aloy from Horizon Forbidden West. After we published the story, the video was pulled from YouTube due to a copyright claim from the Muso, a copyrights enforcement company which advertises Sony Interactive Entertainment as a client. So they represent Sony for this particular area. I don't want to scroll too far here. I think it's right there. Okay. The video is narrated by Sharwin, that last name, a director of software engineering at Sony Interactive Entertainment, who works on video game technology, AI, computer vision, and face technology for Sony PlayStation Studios Advanced Technology Group. We watched Sharwin demonstrate an AI-powered version of Aloy that can hold a conversation with the player through voice prompts during gameplay. So what I'm reading here is not only is it AI to move the mouth with the voice, and then it's an AI voice, it's not a real person, but it's actually an interactive character where there's a microphone on your PS5 controller, and and you talk into your controller, and Aloy responds back to you and talks to you. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure it's the future. I'm sure, but just hearing that, I'm just kind of like, it strikes me as super cheesy. It strikes me as almost trying to push a technology that's no one's asking for. But maybe they'll come up with a use for it that I haven't thought of. That's interesting and like curious enough to want to partake in the experience. It is new. It is new. And that's something I think gamers for the most part are very conflicted of. Like, new things can be very scary. It can cancel out a lot of the tried and true expectations that we've grown accustomed to. But at the same time, it can potentially move the industry forward. It could also move the industry backwards. There's always that as well. But at least it's not stagnating. And this would be something new. And it's something that I would want to experience. And when I hear this, like, yes, I'm interested. I want to see, because it seems really stupid to me, but it might not be. And I want to see if it is, if it's not, and how fun it actually is. Because my concern with something like this is they'd be pushing the technology so forward that they'd forget about making the game actually fun. And they'd just be like, look, Aloy can talk to you. Have a conversation with her. You loser, because you don't talk to anyone in real life. Talk to this game character. I'd like to think that they think beyond that, and make a actual like full-fledged game around it, and then put that on top of it. Because again, at the end of the day, it's just kind of it's almost like a gimmick. Almost like a gimmick. It might have staying power to not be just a gimmick. But when I watched the GIF that I shared in the chat, I'll share it again in case you guys missed it, because I can't share it right now because I don't want to run the risk. But when I watched it, I was curious enough, but I'm like, man, if this is just a gimmick, it's going to be like Wii bowling, where it's like, oh, it's really cool, but I don't want to be using my Wii control stick for a sword in Skyward Sword. That doesn't sound exciting to me. I don't want to be walking around doing this the whole time while I'm playing I just want to play the game. So using a gimmick or implementing a new feature in a game, if it's done well, it can work. But my greater concern is it's just going to be done just to appease investors and be like, look, investors, AI. Didn't you guys always say you wanted AI and we got AI? So AI. And it's going to keep saying AI. But I guess time will tell. Time will tell. XL Gamer HC says, how is it different than Cortana? Well, this is not just a communication device. It's also, as far as I understand, voice, like AI voiced, and AI movements, mouth movements and everything like that, which it like reciprocates the words and the mouth moves at the way the words come out and stuff like that. I don't know how far it goes though, because like I said, it's a leaked video. We don't know how deep it actually gets. What's up, B-Man? When everything is AI, nothing will be, says Christopher Washington. Damn, that's deep. Ally could be seen responding to queries with an AI-powered synthesized voice and facial movements, both in a demo setting and within the full Horizon Forbidden West game. This developer makes it clear that it's just a prototype that has been developed alongside Guerrilla Games to demonstrate the technology internally at Sony. All right, let me skip past it here. Okay, and let me re-share for the rest of this. It says the technology demo uses OpenAI's Whisper for speech to text and both GPT-4 and Llama 3 for conversations and decision making. Sony has its own internal emotional voice synthesis (EVS) system that it uses for speech generation, according to that developer, and audio to face animation is powered by Sony's own Mockingbird technology. While the demo is seen running on PC, Sony has also experimented with running parts of this technology directly on PS5 consoles with little overhead. That's pretty wild. Sony first demonstrated this internally a year ago before showing a more advanced version behind closed doors at Sony Technology Exchange Fair, SDEF, in Tokyo in November. This is just a glimpse of what is possible. The tech demo doesn't answer the more obvious questions over whether it even makes sense to talk to Aloy when you're supposed to be playing as her in Forbidden West, or the impact of such technology could have on voice actors and game developers. Which, I mean, the future is coming, old man. You can cry and complain about it and strike and try to fight the courts, and you might win for a little bit, but eventually this is the future. It's coming, and it's only going to get better as time progresses. Again, I just keep going back to, I hope it's not implemented in a cringe way, and hopefully it makes sense for the end user. But yeah, I'll leave that one there. I just thought that was pretty interesting.